Flippity flop. There we go. Change colors. It says we're live.
It lies like a dog. All right. So if you would like to keep everything nailed down, because the wind is back, donate here. Ko-fi.com, the blanket fort. Thank you.
At least the wind is out of the east for a change.
Now it's everything that blew east is now going back the other way.
Yeah.
So we get to taste everything.
So Arizona, differ, you're going to get your front yard back.
Yeah, we get to taste it a second time. King Harvest Imperial Coffee reminds me I need to grind some more coffee. If you like coffees, talk to these guys.
Coffees. They have a lot of selection.
No,
Yes.
I gotta find another African and grind it up. But let them know you heard about it from us. Among the Leaves tees, smart ass t-shirts. Let them know you heard about it from us.
Differs, you're going to get it back whether you want it or not.
I tweaked my back, so
Yeah, we've got 2 tweaked backs and a pulled calf muscle.
calf muscle.
Yeah.
We're doing so good today.
I've spent last night and night before. I had to take a Tylenol 3 to go to sleep.
Yeah, that sucks.
And it's getting better. It's getting better. That's the terrible thing about weightlifting, especially on squats and deadlifts, because your lower back gets very strong. So when it cramps,
Yeah, it cramps. Yeah.
it does it like it means it. Oh, okay. Let's see here. And before everything got started, I was busy cussing Facebook. And as I was cussing Facebook, I found a video. And I swear to God, it's the Yano. It's some guy running through riding a horse through Salt Cedar Mesquite after a really quick steer.
Little steer.
Not very big at all.
He's a zippy little guy.
And he is a fast little bugger. I'll give him that. So I need to find that again. Because I want to know where that ranch is. Because I swear to God, I've ridden over the same. Ow.
I would have been just pulling the gun and shooting the son of a bitch and be done with it. You always need barbecue for the ranch. And of course, when he finally gets a loop on him, it's as he goes into a big mesquite bush.
Now you got to back him out of that mesquite thicket. And that's not going to be fun.
Yep.
No. Been there and done that. Did not end well.
And for some reason, I've been off Facebook for 2 weeks now. I get back on, my feed's full of bimbos.
Somebody was commenting that he just checked in with Twitter for the first time in like years, and almost immediately his feed filled up with bimbos, and he's like, I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I think
apparently
they're the default setting.
wayward astronauts are back on Earth.
Oh, good. That is good news.
Now comes the fun part of trying to recover. I saw an interview this morning with a NASA doctor who looked like Mr. Clean. I mean, bald head, and I swear his muscles had muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And he was listing all the things that go wrong in space.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that they're going to have to do to try to recover.
No kidding. I just want to see videos I've watched.
You saw it once. That's all you're ever going to see it. You'll never find it again.
Piss me off.
Yep.
Piss me off. Ow.
Yeah. District judge orders return of astronauts to space. Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing that joke.
Oh, lovely, Greg. You piss somebody off.
Well, the thing about it is if I watch a video that's I'll see the damn thing 30 times in the next 24 hours.
Hang on just a second.
It's one I really want to see again. It's gone.
Yeah.
That annoys the crap out of me.
And apparently we're already getting a stall and spin. Frank, let us at least get through one day without a problem.
Yeah, right.
I swear.
Oh.
But yeah, we've definitely got the wind back.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's dry. I'm just going to give up. Anyway, it looks like caliche and Salt Cedar Mesquite, mostly Mesquite.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's the Llano, which the Panhandle is the north part of the Llano.
Yeah.
Llano Estacado. Oh. Okay. So later tonight, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, I'll be on Mirthquake with David Badgerina. Apparently, he's going to try to break me.
Yeah.
The hell. So there's if you go to my Substack, it's also on Facebook. If you click on Mirthquake, it should take you to where I'm going to be. Should take you straight there. Let's see. Is Ben Hunsinger on here?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, Rick, that's definitely a prison in Central America. They don't play nice down there.
No, they don't. Well, quite honestly, it looks a lot like maximum security intake at Texas.
Yeah.
You do not look at the officers.
Yeah.
Do not, because if you look at the officers, you can take a swing at the officer. So you don't look at the officers. If you look up, you won't look at the officers. Oh.
Yeah, they were not playing games with them at all.
Mm. Well, they're MS-13.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
MS-13 in Trinidad Agua.
I'm surprised that they didn't have a brief segue down the alley.
Yeah.
3 of them ran away.
Yeah. No, Liz, you wouldn't.
Nope.
Yeah, Trump should resume prosecutions for violating do not call.
I don't know that. I think that, given my attempts to find out who the hell is spoofing numbers, I don't know that that actually that since everything's voice over IP, I don't know that prosecutions are possible.
It can be done.
But they're you find them. They're in Italy, they're in India.
They're not in the U.S. though. That's the problem.
And countries external to the U.S. frankly don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shaving the heads and faces on arrival. They do that. The Texas prisons do that. All of them.
Yeah.
You get down to intake. Middleton unit is intake for our area, I think, in Abilene.
Yeah.
And first, right off the bat.
Well, Rick, it's not actually the telecoms because what it is they will run, because I tracked one set of calls, and they went through 4 different ISPs.
Huh, I would surprise me.
Every one of them was through a different ISP, 4 calls in a row.
And bounced through about 13 different, the hell you call it, VPNs?
Yeah, one of them was out of Michigan, one was out of Georgia, one was out of Texas, and one was out of Canada. But it showed the same number.
I'm sure. What I hate is the ones that are spoofing numbers. I had a call from my brother the other day. It turned out to be a Democrat political call.
Yeah. Hey, Jay Kenton.
Why do you need to spoof my brother's number? I know why, because I won't pick up.
Yeah.
So let's see what's going on. Me on David Badgerino's live stream. It'll be live, so y'all could. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Forget I said that. It's not going to be live. Don't worry about it. I know you lot.
Yeah, Rick, the way to do it is you got to go start taking down ISPs in foreign countries. That's the way you end it.
There are a lot of ways to end it.
Yeah. You take down an ISP, that's the quickest way.
The quickest way is to have a whole bunch of deniable knuckle draggers that can show up at a Lagos cyber cafe or a Mumbai cyber cafe, go in and kill everything in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Tiff, that's
I'm in pain and grouchy.
Fielding calls in the hospital from people trying to get her daughter, who's autistic, who gets 8 hours of work a week to pay a $5,000 MRI bill. No.
Now, if you start, there was somebody I briefly back into Facebook and wound up on Mike Williamson's page, which was always a mistake.
Yeah.
Yes.
and it was I'm in pain and a little grouchy. It was a article about basically how women are treated in England, for God's sake, and here in the U.S. This one Muslim girl was raped by her brothers. Let me repeat that: raped by her brothers. Her mother ordered her to commit suicide. She refused, so the mother did it for her.
Yeah.
And the defense, both the brothers who did the act, the instigating act, and the mother who murdered her daughter, all three of them's defense was, it's our culture.
Yeah. Honor killings.
So I remembered Sir Charles Napier's response to that.
To Sati.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sir Charles Napier is a hero of mine. Y'all may not know this, but I love Sir Charles Napier. He was a very forward-thinking man in the Victorian age. He actually, one of the reasons he got in trouble was he called for and enforced treating Indian officers as equal to their British officer counterparts.
Yeah.
And that Indian officers should be executive officers. And got him this is Victorian England, got him in a bit of Dutch. But his famous quote was, there was Indian sati killings in India where the husband died, and when he died, the wife was thrown on the fire, the funeral pyre.
Yeah.
And Sir Charles, being a good Victorian gentleman that he was, military gentleman, Renaissance type guy, was a little upset about that. And he was told in no small terms that this was their culture. To which he replied, "Be it so. Let us all act according to culture. In my culture, we hang men who burn women alive and take all of their stuff. So you may proceed to burn the widow. I'll have my people erect gibbets, and we'll all act according to culture."
Yeah.
But damned, the burning of widows stopped.
Yep. Most goes quickly.
Right? Ricky tick, as we used to say. So, yeah. And I posted that. I found the actual quote and posted it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of likes for that. Sir Charles Napier was a wise man. He was also a fantastic punter.
Yeah.
There was a Sikh region that got a little festive when he was running India. And the region was called Sindh, Sindh, Sindh. And he headed up there to pacify the local Sikhs. And when he was headed out, he was told, do not seize as an independent satrapy. Don't take it. And his next telegram back was, "I have sinned."
Yeah. Be careful, Liz. I hope it's not a major issue.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, honor killings still occur in the Middle East.
Honor killings occur anywhere that's not first world.
Honor killings have occurred here in the States.
Yeah.
But
they get prosecuted, but that doesn't stop them from occurring.
Third world people in the States.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're talking about American cultural things here. I'm saying they have occurred.
Yeah.
They occurred in Texas, and then that was it for him. Texas doesn't have a gibbet anymore, but we do have the express lane.
Yeah, and his defense was, well, it's legal where I'm
my
from.
Culture.
Yeah, my culture.
Yeah.
Texas culture is get an express lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that really just is like, it's legal where I come from. Well, you aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
And if you want it to be legal, go back there.
Yeah, that's okay. The death penalty is legal in Texas. Yeah. So let us all act in accordance with our culture.
Yep. We need to do that with a few Democrats about now too. And a few judges.
I've spoken on here about my fondness for Berbers, which aren't Arabs,
Yeah, definitely not.
not Arabs. But they are. Well, they're North African. They're not necessarily Middle Eastern. But I also understand that my fondness for Berbers extends to individual Berbers and a tribe of individual Berbers. As a whole, not so much. And I don't like Bedu. I really don't like Bedu. Although there was one of the victims in the article had run away from her husband, and the husband's family contacted. You can contact in the old parts. You can contact a neutral family who will arrange to mediate. So these morons got a hold of a Bedu tribe and swore mighty oaths that they meant no harm upon the daughter. Because if I remember right, she fled from Palestine into Jordan, contacted a Bedu tribe, a desert Bedu tribe was contacted by the intermediaries. The husband's family swore mighty oaths that they meant no harm to the girl. Well, the Bedouins believed them, returned the girl, and of course the family whacked her.
Yeah.
The Bedu are not happy. When I say not happy, there's probably going to be a few less Palestinians in the world, right, Ricky Tick? Because they take that. They promised that girl she would be safe because they believed on the word, and they lied to them. So those Bedu are going to whack. There will be recriminations, and I got to give them props for that.
Well, there certainly are recriminations today in Gaza.
Does it? Yeah, it's what happens when you. If you want the ceasefire to keep going, return hostages. Oh, you have failed to return hostages.
I don't.
Ergo, the ceasefire does not.
At this point, that any of the hostages are left alive.
They're not. They're not.
So that's why they didn't return any of them, because there are none left.
And the outcry over the condition of what they have returned.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Israelis are going back to starting at the top and going right down the chain of command.
They got the top 7 so far.
Right down the chain of command.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Well, not necessarily down, up and down and sideways.
Kind of sideways. They're following the phone tree. Anybody remember phone trees?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're following the phone tree.
Yeah, could not happen to more deserving bunch of assholes. That's true.
There's a reason. I don't think the Hamasholes understand Palestinians. There's a reason they're not welcome anywhere. Jana points out that they are going to Planet Comic-Con. Jana and the minions are headed for Planet Comic-Con to sell books. If you're in the Kansas City area, please go buy our books.
Yeah, Weird Warfare does come out Friday. Finally.
Starving publishers need to be fed. Please donate to starving publishers. Buy our books.
Yeah, start with visiting Cutter and cleaning from the top down.
Okay. We mentioned Mirthquake earlier. Probably need to mention it again. I was trying to tell them that it's not actually a live stream, so they don't need to sign on. Apparently,
that horse has already left the barn.
Apparently, I made a mistake.
Yep. Yeah, Rick, the real heads of Hamas are hiding in Qatar and in France. And I am pretty sure that Shin Bet or Mossad or whatever their name is this week, do have plans afoot.
Note the date. You said something nice about Bedouins. That'll be the only thing I ever say nice about Bedu.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, they don't like it when non-Arabs call them Bedu instead of Bedouins.
Yeah.
Just point that out.
You do not want to be downwind of them in the wind either. They may look pretty in their white robes, but
Bedu are
bathing is not in their language or their culture.
The deep desert, there's no water. It's kind of hard to bathe on.
Yeah,
The
I
only
was
water you
gonna
got is camel spit.
Well, okay, so bathing in different cultures means different things, and some of them it might mean rubbing fats from different animals all over them. And I'm sure camel butter smells about as good as it sounds like it would smell.
Yeah. No.
And Berbers don't like Bedouin. Period. That is a feud. A Civil War class feud goes back several centuries.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for oil, the Saudis would still be living in the tents and with their camels and their oasis and nothing else.
Remember, the Berbers were there and trading with the Romans when the Bedou were still picking fruit with their toes in the wilderness.
Yeah.
That's a pretty much a
No,
straight
Ted,
quote.
they don't even bother to sandblast. They just stink.
That's a direct quote I heard from somebody one time.
Yeah.
My people dealt with the Romans as equals. Your people, at the time, your people were still picking fruit with their toes in the desert.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how the Berbers think about it.
Yeah. Well, the whole cradle of civilization thing is interesting too.
Well,
and that's one of those that you can sit there and argue up one side, down the other.
my thing as an amateur archaeologist, my thing is at the time humans became human, 7,000 years ago was the time of Doggerland. Anybody know what Doggerland is? Doggerland is right now it's a shallow sandbank in the North Sea. At the time when humans were becoming humans, it was a fertile prairie. And there are a lot of areas that when the ice caps were when the glaciers were at their full, there were a lot of exposed areas right by the sea, various oceans. And humans like seas. For the most part, anywhere near a sea is easy transport. The sea provides food. So
water.
I think a lot of cradles of civilization are under 300 feet of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, they certainly find a lot of, whenever they go looking underwater, they find all kinds of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I came that far from getting a degree in marine archaeology for that very reason, for what Cedar just pointed out.
The other thing that's really, really cool right now is, have you guys seen all the LiDAR you can get access to now?
Oh, yeah.
I keep having these different YouTube videos pop up where they're overlaying Google Maps and the LiDAR maps.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what's out there.
The ones over the Silk Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the Silk Road was so much more vast than we have, because you can follow the Silk Road with satellite and LiDAR. You can because the Silk Road was hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So it's left marks.
Well, it's not only left marks, it was much broader.
And went to so many more people.
Everybody
places.
says the Silk Road. No, it was the Silk Roads.
Yeah.
And parts of them were over. It wasn't just overland too.
Yeah.
They'd go to the sea and bop up to different ports.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating what we're learning.
Yeah, certainly true in the Black Sea. Very much so.
Oh God, yes.
Doggerland,
it's been wrecked. But I would have loved in the 80s to have gotten my marine archaeology degree and gone to the North Sea to look at Doggerland before the fishing boats wrecked it.
Yeah.
Because it was a fertile plain and probably full of villages. The fishing nets pull up stuff all the time that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Not just spear points and arrow points, but carvings and bowls. And of course, every time they pull it, they're wrecking an archaeological site. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you heard the latest nonsense for
one?
anthropology and archaeology specifically? A little thing floated across my feed this morning about well, I think the Native American, any kind of body parts that are in museums now, they're repatriating them and burying
They're
them.
attempting to.
They're doing that in Australia. They had Aboriginal bones they had bones that were probably not Aboriginal.
Yeah.
But rather than being allowed to test them, they were forced to take them out and rebury them. But the other one, the one that just made my jaw just completely drop, is they are removing any kind of photographs of actual human remains or bones from all of the pedagogical materials.
What?
They're going back to line drawings.
You lost.
Very good ones.
Deal with it.
And that's the thing. And that's not just Native American. That's at all.
Yeah.
They've decided they don't want to depict human bones in any kind of realistic way. So they're trying to teach them with line drawings and not good ones, because there's good scientific illustrators out there.
Yeah.
But they aren't allowing them to do photos or videos or anything like that.
Apparently,
Makes absolutely no sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
There's a effort in formerly Great Britain to decolonize Stratford-upon-Avon, the Bard's birthplace.
Yeah.
Because apparently William Shakespeare is now problematic.
Yeah. Greg makes a good point. What do we not know about or doesn't fit the narrative from the time of the younger days? Göbekli Tepe is at least 10,500 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're buried half of Göbekli Tepe, and they're not doing any further excavations on it.
Yeah.
They are worried about what we might learn.
Yeah.
And so they're doing the best to suppress information.
Makes me wish, seriously, to grab a cowboy hat and a bullwhip and get my Indiana Jones on. Because Indiana Jones is a crap archaeologist by modern standards, but given what we're having to put up with, he might be a hero.
Yeah. The question is, are you going to carry a Webley or are you going to...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
1911.
Oh, no. I'm going to... Is Ben Hunsinger on here yet? Because he had a question I want to answer.
Doug, I don't remember what the one next to Göbekli Tepe is, but yes. It's supposed to be an older.
There are a number of sites very similar to Göbekli Tepe out in that area.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, and this is going to impact any kind of archaeological excavation above and beyond the fact that most of the people that live in the Middle East are insane, is the Iran's water situation is bad.
Oh, yeah.
No, like really, really bad. Well, the problem is, anytime you're on desperate ground, you go back to Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
When you're on desperate ground, you fight. And so looking at what's going on inside China, what's going on with Iran has poisoned themselves, quite literally.
Yeah.
Looking at their water situation.
That's because they got stupid and let the Quanets die.
Yeah.
They were trying to employ a engineering class, so they damned things that should never have been damned.
Yep.
And now their main rivers.
Their Quanets had worked for centuries,
but dams
just
are,
fine.
But dams are modern and cost money and boosted.
Quanets work better.
Boosted the pride and honor of the people working on them.
Boosted the kickbacks.
Exactly. I know. But I'm just saying that these things, when I see stuff like that, it concerns me, because when your people start to revolt because they're dying, governments do stupid things.
The peasants
go to war.
Peasants are revolting. Damn, Skippy, they stink on ice.
Yeah. Rick says, how much of the Marsh people's culture was destroyed by Saddam Hussein?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that is, everybody is all, genocide. When actual genocide is happening, they don't say a word.
Nope.
No. Well, Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know, Croatia.
The
go
Uyghurs,
back any
the Kurds.
Yeah.
We go back any number of, you'll take it in the neck. Hell,
Yeah.
the Ukrainians are taking the neck right now. So anyway, if anybody sees Ben Hunsinger, That hurt. I did a 4-part series on saps, and Ben asked a question about rolls of coins, about how I felt about rolls of coins. Rolls of coins in a sock, like a civilized human being, are just great. Rolls of coins in your fist suck because it's great for hitting soft stuff. But if you hit something hard, like a hip bone, if you're working somebody's kidney like you're getting paid for it, and he missed and he moves and you hit the hip bone, the bone becomes what we call an anvil.
Mm-hmm.
The roll of coins becomes a hammer. Your fingers become the thing that the hammer is distorting on the anvil. So there's a whole bunch of, you put a roll of coins in your fist and start punching. Put it in a sock like a civilized human being and go to work.
Potentially 8 dislocations, 4 knuckles, and 4 finger joints with 1 roll of coins and 1 hit.
Yeah, because, like I said, head, hip, something solid in a pocket becomes the anvil. The roll of quarters becomes the hammer, and your fingers are in the way. Put it in a roll of socks like a civilized human being.
Or wrap it up in your neckerchief and tie it off so it doesn't slide around.
That too. Sock full of nickels works like a charm. There's one of my favorite cartoons or web comics.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it's called these days, but it's this very scruffy group of medieval era adventurers. And there's a knight that tries his best. He really does. He's trying to be a knight. And it's this 4-panel cartoon opens up and he's banging on a bell.
Yeah.
And somebody from behind the counter, please stop doing that. And the knight says, "Yeah, silver weapons." And he says, the guy behind the counter says, "No, have you seen the werewolves?" The knight says, "Yes, give me all the silver coins you got." And the next scene is the knight going, "What's up, dog?" with a sock full of silver coins going after a werewolf.
Yeah.
I love that. I like that.
That is awesome.
The weekly roll. Okay. Sir Bucket. Yes, thank you. That's he's very Ian. Okay.
Yeah, Carlton, that you cannot tell the men from the women from the bones. Bullshit.
The hell you can't.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Sorry,
The hell
I may
you
have gone a
can't.
little loud there.
The hell you can't.
Well, according to a certain sect of archaeology, you can't.
Yeah, bugger them.
It would be really nice if we could get to the point where we went back to some common sense archaeology and anthropology.
How about friggin' science, real science?
Okay. I don't think I've done this rant here. So
Mm.
it's the anthropology archaeology rant.
Yes,
in
you've
Europe-
done it before.
In Europe, archaeology is a separate science all by itself, with archaeologists teaching archaeologists to do archaeology things. Now, the thing about archaeology as a whole is a hard science. It's the softest of the hard science, but it is actually a hard science. You do get actual physical objective data.
Yep.
Right? Well, in the US, archaeologists, that's where all of the introverts in science go, is archaeology. I've actually had an archaeologist tell me that he said, "You're a cop, right?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Get that man out of my dig." I said, "Doc, I'm pretty sure he's the reason the dig is here."
Yeah.
Bones made him nervous.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the US, anthropologists took a look at archaeologists, said, "Don't worry about it. You just go out and do your stuff and we'll handle your field." And the archaeologists went, "Yay, I don't have to deal with people." And anthropology took over archaeology of the States.
Yep.
Anthropology is not a science. It's an art, because there's very little actual objective data you can get. And every bit of it that I've seen, every anthropology paper I've read, within about the first 3 pages, you can tell the biases of the observer.
Oh, yeah. The difference is right. Age, sex, lifestyle, occupation, where they grew up, what they
How many
ate.
kids they had.
Yeah, when you get into isotoping, you can
Yeah.
tell exactly what they ate
Yeah.
and where they spent most of their life living. I really wanted to, once I figured out it was a thing, and then I can't afford a PhD, but what I really wanted to do was they scrape the insides of cooking pots
Yeah.
and test it and figure out ancient recipes.
Yeah.
And yes, that is right up my alley.
Well, the interesting thing, they did a study on lead in Rome, in the Roman
Mhm.
culture.
Yeah, not nearly as bad as people
No,
Okay, so
call it
lead
conventional
in.
witness, conventional wisdom.
but it
there's
impacted.
two different things going on here. So the lead in pipes usually has a layer that forms over it
Yep.
through the interaction of the water and the
Yeah,
lead itself.
calcification.
So you don't get lead into your water as much. Lead was also used in cosmetics.
Mhm.
The skin is an amazing barrier, and contrary to popular
Yeah.
myth, 40 to 60% of cosmetics do not get absorbed into your skin.
Yeah.
That being said, we actually don't know what the lethal dose or the not the lethal dose is. We don't know the level of lead that actually affects the human body.
Yeah.
So lead is one of those things that as a society here in the US, we have decided that no dosage of lead is safe,
That's
which is
judgment.
almost certainly not true. Yes, lead, particularly in when you're talking about small children, ingesting lead can impact the
Yeah.
developing brain.
Sweet little white chips.
Yes. And the thing is, though, that we panic about this. So there's quite a few other compounds we
Yeah.
do this with too, but we panic about it and we say no dose is safe when the reality is probably that there is a dose that doesn't really do anything. Or when you're an adult, you can absorb and pass more of it.
Yeah.
Or it goes into your bones and stays there and doesn't really do anything. So lead in ancient societies,
Well, and part of it was that was one time not being in the elite paid off
Mm-hmm.
because the elite had the lead amphorae, the lead
Lead's a lovely soft metal.
cooking utensils,
The lead
The
cosmetics.
lead cosmetics, the lead plates.
Mm-hmm.
So the elite actually had a higher exposure to lead
Mm-hmm.
than John Q. Public
Right.
because the water flow, in addition to calcification, water flow in Rome was not stagnant.
No,
it flowed all the
yeah,
time.
it went all the time.
So that did two things. One, it increased the calcification in the pipes. And two, by not stagnating, it never dropped the heavy particles out.
Yep. And it's like, and we've known things about lead and how to manage it for a long time. Where you went into trouble in certain American cities is when they did things that they knew they should not do.
Yeah.
And that becomes
Do
an
not
issue.
take lead 180 grains at a time.
At high velocity.
Yeah, arsenic face cream, lead dissolved in wine as a preservative. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we've done some pretty crazy things as a people, and somehow we still survived.
Well, the FDA, in a slight digression, they apparently the new director of the FDA got to looking at some of the rules, and apparently there's this by inclusion rule in that certain things are allowed to be in their food,
Mm-hmm.
except they've kept adding to it. And the actual number of ingredients that can be added, ingredients, chemicals, and or other things, is up to almost 800, of which probably 700 and some odd have never been approved.
And I'm going to come in with my spicy take for the day, which is a lot of the safety stuff that the FDA gets touted as having done was actually done prior to the FDA coming in through market pressure.
Yeah.
The removal of arsenic from things like wallpapers and dyes and etc.
And makeup.
And makeup. Once the public was aware that it was dangerous, the companies that were making the products faced so much pressure that they stopped making them and it stopped being distributed. So the problem we actually are at right now is that there's a lot of social media misconception about what's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that's breathlessly touted as the most toxic thing in the world that isn't actually, unless you're drinking it in quantities like water.
Is Kelly on here? We can start the fentanyl discussion.
But the ones I see a lot are parabens in cosmetics, because having been a cosmetic chemist, they are one of the safest preservatives that we have, and they're used in such minute amounts to keep microbial growth out of various things that if they were dosed to a very large amount to a rodent, they do disrupt the endocrine system. No human is consuming them in that quantity, and besides which, again, with the skin as a barrier.
Well, what about saccharin?
Saccharin, the saccharin.
212 pounds.
Yeah.
212 pounds was how much the average human would have to ingest in a minimal amount of time for it to have an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I was on the way into work this morning, and the local stations have, early in the morning, have kooks on. And they were doing this thing about liver detox.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
And, how you need to detox the liver. You do not need to detox the liver. That's what the liver does.
The liver and the kidneys
are very good at detoxing. They've evolved to be that way. Anyway, so the cherry on this little cupcake was the announcer saying that this stuff you take to detox your liver is made from plants, so it's safe.
Oh, my God.
And I'm thinking, is anybody going to fall for that? And I think, yes, they're going to fall for that.
Yes, people will absolutely.
Do you know that Mountain Laurel produces cyanide?
Yeah.
Okay, apples produce cyanide. It's all about the dose.
Mountain Laurel produces a hell of a lot more cyanide than apples do.
Oleander.
Yeah.
Highly toxic plant.
Ricin.
Ricin comes from castor beans. Datura.
But the pecans produce cyanide.
A lot of plants produce cyanide.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Mountain Laurel is the one that produces cyanide that if you bend over to sniff it, you have issues.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's be real. Where does
And I watch Cedar pull something out and spray something. It's like,
yeah, right.
Sorry.
Nightshade.
It's an atomizer. All it has is dihydrogen monoxide.
Oh no, not dihydrogen monoxide.
We're all gonna die.
You didn't realize every cancer cell ever found had dihydrogen monoxide in it?
Marigolds is short. It's fun. Shortly before the twitching starts. Yeah.
Digitalis.
Yeah.
There are, just because it's from plant. One of the things that I am quite proud of being an apex predator about, outside of some really, really weird, you can pretty much eat animals. You don't stay away from polar bear liver, which is not going to be an issue here.
Pretty much any apex predator probably shouldn't eat that.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat the liver or the kidneys.
But you can eat mussels off of animals a lot more safer than you eat random plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plants have adapted over millions of years to fend off those herbivores that want to chow down on them, unless it's a fruit that they want an herbivore to chomp on, in which case you have tasty fruits. But not all fruits are safe. So
then there's those poor little buggers that spend millennia evolving defenses against insects, and this hairless ape walks on and go, oh, look, tobacco.
Yeah.
Capsaicin,
nicotine, all poisons and defenses.
Cocaine.
Yes. For some critters, capsaicin is a poison.
Yep.
Don't suck on dart frogs. Well, once. This dart frog makes you see God. This dart frog makes you see God. God, we are not those critters, right? There's a lot of stuff we enjoy that's the plants have evolved as poisons.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I have made capsaicin. Nothing. Well, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the holes in Jurassic Park, the recreated dinos would be poisoned by the first modern plants they ate. Probably.
We are the Death Worlders. Damn Skippy.
Yep.
Damn Skippy. Woolly mammoth be released. That is.
Somebody is going to do that.
No, they're already working on it.
So
I know.
the woolly mammoth mouse, all they did was splice in a gene that made the mouse fluffier.
I was given to understand that they're actually trying to reclone woolly mammoths.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we actually have quite a bit of material from woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
Not making me feel better.
They are rather large sized. Thankfully, they're cold adapted, not warm adapted.
You know, the one that makes me nervous is that they are reproducing the auroch, and they've gotten pretty far along with
Yeah,
it.
no
Yeah.
kidding. No kidding. Auroch. Let's see.
That makes that longhorn Brahma
Yeah,
cross
no
we saw
kidding.
look like a kitty
Auroch
cat.
is a Pleistocene ox with a temper.
Yeah.
Yay.
Ah,
This is going to go well. I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
You know you want mammoth steak. Well, yes, somewhere else.
Bring back cave bears.
Grog ate this, was okay. Thag ate this and died.
Yeah.
Doog ate this and saw God for 2 weeks. Yeah.
pretty much.
Pretty much. Like,
Well, because I thought this was common knowledge, so I've been blowing people's mind all week because I've told like 4 different people now. It just keeps coming up. Redbud is edible.
Yeah.
Redbud is very edible. Redbud is like the complete package as a tree because it's pretty, it's edible, it's a nitrogen fixer, and it's a polite little thing. It doesn't reproduce all over your lawn.
Yeah.
So it's like people are like, what? And I'm like, the flowers are edible, the little seed pods are edible. It's in the bean family. What does it taste like?
Yeah.
Beans or peas. Depends.
well,
The redbud seeds can be dried and ground as flour. So can acorns.
Yeah.
people will lose their mind when you tell mesquite beans are perfectly edible.
So Paul over at Wichita Valley Nursery, the hippies hippie, bless him, he reminds me so much of my parents' friends when I was a kid. Anyhow, he has been inciting people. He wants to see someone start brewing a mesquite beer out of mesquite beans. They're really high in sugar. He's not wrong. You could absolutely do that. I don't know what it would taste like, but
I'll try it.
That's about as bad as the mushroom coffee.
Don't fuck with my coffee. See, people stop. Yeah, quit screwing on my coffee. Quit. Coffee beans, heat, grind, water. Quit screwing with my coffee.
well, then you don't call it coffee. It's mushroom stimulant drink, kind of like chicory is not coffee.
We're going to feed expensive coffee beans to this cat. And then when
There's evidently a company in Africa that's feeding expensive coffee beans to elephants.
Yeah.
And then harvesting them after they've passed through.
stop fucking with my coffee. Just stop fucking with my
Feeding-
coffee.
I don't want my coffee to have passed through anything.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, the one guy was holding a handful of them and sniffed it, and he's like, "This smells like silage."
Yeah.
Like,
No.
that is
Might be
not,
a reason.
That is
No.
not a selling point.
No. This coffee smells like elephant crap. I wonder why.
Yeah, 40 or $60 a pound for the civet.
I would think it's probably more than that. I know the geisha coffee is
Yeah.
like $60 a pound.
How friggin' desperate do you have to be to go, well, that stinky cat just crapped out the coffee beans. I ain't good to drink it.
That is
How
desperate.
desperate do you have to
There are a lot of things that
I'm
we
a
eat
I'm a
that I
coffee
think
fiend.
somebody had to be really desperate to have tried that.
I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
coffee fiend. No.
I mean, then you get into Carl and
Well,
Balut
Chris
and
had-
some of
Chris-
the weird stuff.
Chris says that he has a theory that there are various foods that local indigenous people have said were foods as a joke.
Yeah. and somebody tried it.
And then they had to when the joke backfired, they
Yeah.
had to.
Oysters being one of those. Or as Rick says, snot on a half shell.
I was going to say oysters are tasty, but
I grill oysters.
I grew up spending enough time beachcombing on the Pacific coast with my grandmother, and we ate a lot of stuff. I about choked when I saw the cost of gooseneck barnacles are considered a high delicacy in Europe.
Yeah.
And they were, and one video was talking about what they cost per pound. I was like, Grandma and I used to harvest those and cook them and eat them all the time, and they're a couple $100 a pound in Europe.
Well, and lobster used to be trash food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did brisket.
Lobster was what the poor people in New England ate.
Yeah.
There was. I remember reading there was a contract for basically it's polite contract slavery, and the contract promised they wouldn't have to eat lobster more than twice a week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
out of
and
curiosity, John, what
indentured
did you pay
servants.
for 12 oysters today for lunch? If you don't mind my asking.
And how close to the ocean does John
Yeah.
live? Because that'll make a difference. If we got 12 oysters here, they would cost different than if I got 12 oysters.
$14 for 12 oysters.
That's
Yeah.
about right.
So if he's
Not
close to the ocean, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because we got 12 oysters on the half shell fresh here, it would probably be triple that if we
at
could get
least.
them.
Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, I had flowers in my hair. What do you know? I was out photographing things earlier. And I just pushed my bun back together, and I had redbud blossoms in my hair.
So it goes fine with your drawing.
Right?
Cedar, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I got so my Discord channel, I will
Yes, she had flowers in her hair.
Yeah.
my Discord channel, I had posted that I was pleased to see that the peas that I had kind of randomly sowed along the fence line in my backyard were popping up and were a few inches tall. And I was like, chaos gardening for the win. And so somebody decided that they were going to do Cedar Sanderson, chaos gardening. And then friend and fellow author and fellow Midjourneyer, Jason Fleming, decided that he was going to create imagery of that. So there are now some very cute little redheaded chaos gardener photos that I will have to, or images that I'll have to share.
Differ says Minnie Marine wants to throw lunch in chicken bucket because somebody gave him the wrong fork.
Oh no.
I'm done for the day.
Oh no.
Can't say I blame you on that one, Differs.
I tell you, but the lovely thing about Cedar being here is I'm already used to it.
Yeah.
I live with a small bit of chaos. Have for
Small.
she's very short.
Yeah.
I live
Well,
with a small
that's
bit of
true.
chaos. So Cedar is like
It's called
What?
going with the flow.
wasn't much of an adjustment. Rita does chaos gardening.
Mhm.
She was raising skulls one time. Shocked the crap out of me.
Now, Brian,
I need to ask her about that.
Brian is the one for skulls. His Halloween,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
on point.
is on point.
She had a raised she made a raised bed, and one of our local ant colonies got in there.
Uh-huh.
And instead of asking me to rain down thunder and doom, she went, "Ha!" and started dumping animal skulls so that the ants would clean the skulls and she'd have skulls.
I used to do that. I'd find an ant nest and leave skulls or shells by it. I wasn't allowed to bring shells from the beach inside until they had been thoroughly disinhabited.
Well, the normal procedure for skinning a skull, though, is you take the living body, you put it on the anthill, you tie it down, you cover it with something sweet,
These were all
you
critter
stand
skulls,
off and listen to this dulcet scream.
and they were mostly decomposed by when I got them in the first place.
We're running out of Democrats. Shush.
I actually have regrets now that I didn't clean and preserve a couple of chicken skulls from my years of keeping and
Ask
butchering
Rita.
out
She's
chickens.
probably she was collecting skull. That woman would show up with a box full of unanted skulls.
Ah.
She used to have a note in at the local dispatch. Ian's girlfriend. It's okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I hate to say it, but none of us are exactly normal.
No, we're not. Nope. This the first week she was here. She had found something. Whee! And had it in the back of her. She had a Hyundai Tucson.
Yeah.
And had covered it with a tarp and was headed back to do whatever she was going to do with it at the time. Who the hell knows? So she was so excited, she was exceeding the speed limit just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And she got pulled over by a local DPS trooper, used to be one of my kids. And so he walks up, makes contact, goes back, does all the stuff. And he already knows he's going to write a warning. Comes back, and as you do ask, asking leading questions, what are you hauling? And Rita goes, ass, apparently. And
I love Rita.
he shut his ticket book, said, you have a good day, went back to his car.
That's Rita in a nutshell.
It's like this little 5'2" mountain of chaos. It's like, it's my life.
Brian, I thought Dragon had already splashed down.
Rita's a sweetheart. She is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
And quite to be honest, everybody that knew me way back when, it's like, how do you live with chaos? Quite easily, actually. It does make life interesting upon occasion.
My poor husband. Some of the things. But I will say that he understood me almost from the beginning. I mean, our first date was a very, very large international grocery store, and it completely charmed and delighted me. And while he has never really brought me flowers, he once came home from work and dropped a green monkey brain on my desk, i.e. Osage orange fruit, because I'd never seen one close up, and I wanted to see one. This was shortly after I moved to Ohio, and they don't grow where I'd always lived before that. So here I get this green knobbly monkey brain looking thing on my desk, and I was tickled pink that he'd actually seen it, stopped, and picked it up for me and brought it to me. These are the things that a good partner will do for you.
Yeah. Do you know why I have nitrile gloves in Rita's car?
Yeah.
Because she has very large blue eyes. And when she's going by something at 90 miles an hour, talking, and it hits the brakes and backs up, I have to get out and take the turtle off the road.
Mm-hmm. And you really don't want to handle turtles with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Don't throw that turtle. Okay.
What turtle? I didn't throw any turtle.
I've stopped to rescue a turtle a few times. So.
She stopped so I can rescue the turtle.
I didn't have anybody with me.
I don't care about turtles. It's a turtle.
Post turtles.
No.
I've seen a few of those down in Louisiana over the years.
That's not a nice thing to do.
The amount of stuff that we've had to rescue. No, I'm sorry. I've had to rescue because she starts getting all big-eyed at me. It's like, I just give up.
Yeah.
I remember last year, she came home one day and there was a pond in the side yard. And in the pond was a couple goldfish and one bloody-minded minnow. And she kept these goldfish and minnow alive all summer long in Texas in a horse trough pond.
Yeah.
Well,
I still haven't figured that one out because a damn bird should have.
Apparently, the minnow had a black belt in chicken food.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're due for like 19-degree weather.
Yeah.
And so Rita gets big-eyed. So I hie myself into Wichita and get a bale of straw and put the straw around the horse trough. And then it's dark. I'm in my jammies. The wind is screaming through at Mach Jesus. It is cold. And she looks at me and gets the big eyes and said, they're going to freeze, aren't they? So I got my butt out of a nice warm bed and a ladle and a flashlight and got her damn fish.
I realize it's a little late now, but goldfish will survive being frozen solid.
Yeah.
Dad and I used to keep goldfish in all the rain barrels on the farm because they kept the mosquito larvae under control. And those barrels would freeze solid in the winter. And when it come thaw in the spring, they'd be in there swimming around. Cheap little feeder goldfish, not the fancy ones. Fancy ones will die if you look at them funny.
Yeah.
Oh, these were
But
cheap.
the ones that you spend like 25 cents to buy, those things will live through anything.
Yeah.
And she got them at Petco, and she picked her goldfish.
Yeah.
And she gave the poor sales clerk the evil eye when he got the wrong goldfish out of the herd. It's like goldfish. So I told him to go back after the other goldfish.
And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time.
So 7 o'clock Central Time. Apparently, it's on my Substack. It's also on Facebook on my page, on the Law Dog page, and in North Texas Trollmakers is a link. Click on the link, takes you right to where I'll be.
Yeah, and Resident One says,
Love,
true
love.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing what we will do for the opposite sex.
She has very big blue eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be growing 3 blackberries on my front porch for my husband. So, yes.
No, it's strawberries.
I have strawberries already. It was the blackberries I was trying to hunt down, the little container-sized blackberries. Not easy to find.
All right, folks, remember, don't sweat petty stuff. Don't sweat petty stuff. We'll see you see you Thursday.
See y'all in a bit.
Bye. All right, stop, quit, go away. Damn it.